You know, I'm fortunate. I get asked by people all the time, you know, why does your food look so pretty? Why are the greens so green and the yellow so yellow? Because I believe that the first thing you do is when you get a plate of food is you eat with your eyes. So you take it in with your eyes. So one of the tricks I'm going to show you is how we keep things green. A lot of times you'll see chefs talking about blanching things. Well, it's very, very simple. It's just, you know, we're going to hit it with some salted boiling water, and then we're going to shock it in cold water, and that's one way that we manage to keep green green. So I have here a bag of frozen peas. You can find it literally anywhere. We're going to give them a really quick blanch, and all that means is boiling water. And when I say boiling, I mean like really boiling, not like tepid, you can stick your finger in it. I mean like boiling. You want a rolling boil to that water. I'm going to add to it a healthy pinch of salt. When I say healthy, I mean healthy. You want it like salty like the ocean. It's really important to make sure that water is nice and salty. Funny story, before I even planned to become a cook, I saw an episode of Iron Chef back in the day when it was still good. Mario Batali, he was getting ready to make some pasta, and I remember he grabbed a box of salt, had the whole box of salt, took the end off of it, and dumped the whole thing in there. And since then, I've always been very, very conscious of how much salt I put in my water. So you really do want that water to be nice and salty. So get my water to a rolling boil. I'm gonna take these peas and add them kind of slowly, because obviously these are frozen, a little bit frozen still. It's going to change the temperature of the water. Don't just dump them in all at once. All right guys, the important part about blanching is having everything you need ready to go. So my boiling water is ready to go. My bowl of ice water here is ready to go. I have a strainer to do everything that I need. So that's a big, big tip. So if you take too long, you know, a second too long here or a second too long in another place, that's really going to affect the color and the flavor of what you're trying to accomplish. Guys, you know, this technique actually applies to a lot. You know, this is the start of a lot of purees. It's how we blanch anything green. So it's one of those things, if you practice it a little bit, you can really perfect it and you can apply it to a lot of different things, and your cooking will turn out a lot better. I get asked a lot how I decided to become a chef, and I wish there was like a good romantic answer, but the truth is that there's not. I just really kind of sucked at everything else, and I was at a point in my life where I really needed some guidance and direction. I think I got that from the kitchen. You know, from my first time in culinary school, I fell in love with the regimen, with the routine. I think if I would have joined the military, I probably would have done well there too. I was just one of those dummies that really needed to be told what to do on a regular basis. So the peas are coming up. They're starting to get a little bit soft. Let's test one. Yep, I was right about where we need them to be. Maybe just 4 or 5 more seconds. So you can see I have my bowl of ice ready to go. I've got my strainer ready to go. Pull our peas. Dump them in the ice water. What that does is, it's gonna stop the cooking process. So it's gonna keep them that nice, bright, vibrant green that they are right now. So when we turn that into a soup or a puree, it's gonna be pretty, 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 which is what we want. So we've got blanched peas, they're nice and tender. We've got a little bit of blanching water that we've used. We still want that to be warm. We've got some butter and some heavy cream, and of course salt and white pepper as usual. I'm gonna start loading that into the blender. I'm sure you can't help but notice my jersey, because it's amazing. It's from one of the greatest TV shows of all time, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. If you don't know that, we're probably not friends. It is not my favorite TV show, but my favorite TV show I'd have to say is Parks and Rec. I've watched every episode of every season, more times than I care to admit. I would say my spirit animal is not Tom Haverford, as much as people think I look like Aziz Ansari. I do not look like Aziz Ansari. I am much more handsome. Nothing against you, Aziz. So I got my peas in here. I got a little bit of my blanching water. It's got that pea flavor, got a little bit of salt in it. So I'm gonna get this going. Guys, this blender is the brick shitter of blenders. They are not paying me to tell you this. I'm just telling you that if you wanted to, you could put a car battery in this motherfucker and it's gonna run. So the trick here is you don't want that to get too hot. We are gonna add a little bit of this warm water to it just to help the blender out. And every once in a while that'll happen. This happens a lot. This happens to us in the restaurants too. That doesn't mean you stop what you're doing. That means you just turn this thing off. You have not fucked up. Just give it a little shake. Just got a little air pocket down there and start again. Pea puree's going. We're gonna drizzle in a little bit of heavy cream here. Hit this with some salt. Little pinch of white pepper. Now we're gonna turn up the volume. green, as it should be. Oh yeah. You can take that, and obviously we want to taste it, make sure it's good. It's pretty good. And look at that color. Get it on our plate. I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully you guys are too. Enjoy.